on. Hey there, welcome to Something About Tabletop. This is going to be a short VR response discussion thing, I guess, on railroading. I hear it all the time. Railroading is bad. You shouldn't railroad. You know what? It's good. It's fine. The thing is that I think what's going on here is people aren't understanding. It's like, okay, if I go have a game and I make a story as a DM, and I have this story in line, and I decide maybe not to communicate to my players what exactly I wanted out of this game, and I just start the game. I don't talk to them about character creation, apart from make characters, they're level 3, and you have this much starting gold, or whatever. And I come to the game and I sit down and I go, okay, guys, so you guys are going to be working for a demon to go kill an angel. And everyone goes, whoa, 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 I made a good paladin. That's not what I want to do. You know, and then it's like, oh, well, this is what I've prepared, so you have to do this. That's obviously where people get pissed off, and that's an extreme circumstance. It could be like, oh, my character's a paladin, he's not going to work for a thieves guild, and say my character finds out pretty early. As a GM, especially if this is a campaign, like 100% of this is a campaign, you need to communicate to your players. You need to say to them what you want, what you're going to run. You can tell them what you're going to run. And if a player comes and doesn't do that, I'm going to be honest, like he's not interested in the game, he can either leave the game table or maybe you guys can work something out. It should all happen prior to the game. Because if you're having a situation where your players walk away from a dungeon, which you give them, then something's wrong here. You know, you aren't selling your campaign well enough. You aren't communicating to your players. Because yeah, sure, players take things in directions that you didn't expect. That happens all the time. Especially in non-linear campaigns, this can be fairly difficult. But a good thing to do is to discuss beforehand, give them a drive that moves them to the situation that you want. And if you have created the whole entire dungeon and they walk past it, you failed as a DM to tell a good enough story for them to want to do it. Quite recently, this happened in a game that I was actually playing with a friend called Bluey. And it wasn't bad. We actually, he used the illusion of choice thing again, where at the start of the game, we made characters, and he hadn't really told us exactly what the storyline was. I already knew it a bit because he had talked to me about it for confirmation. And what happened was right at the start of the game, I go to Bluey, well, seeing as we really don't have any drive to do anything, and I feel that our characters, I don't want just to earn money. You've given us, he has a plot device of this demon sword that we can go chuck it, destroy. How are we going to do that? Because that's what my character wants to do. And I told Bluey that. And he went, oh, wow, okay. And then he worked out and illusion of choice us in the direction he was originally going anyway, but tied it to the sword, which is something good. Not that I'm saying you should tell your GM, like, I guess you could tell your GM if he's new, maybe what's happened and say, hey, how can you deal with this? Because that's a good thing you can do. Also, in general, I mean, just to conclude here, if you're having a trouble with railroading, what is happening is that your GM hasn't communicated effectively. You as a player are failing your GM by not listening to your GM, and maybe you don't want to be in a certain a game that GM's trying to run. So maybe you guys need to either talk about running a game that everyone will like, or get another game group, get another GM, play with someone else. Now, in terms of one-shots, you just entered that one-shot. If you're playing a character that isn't about that one-shot, you failed. And as a GM, this is your one-shot. You're putting it out there. People have signed up. And if people don't want to play that one-shot how you don't want to play it, they've failed on you. I guess if your one-shot's not interesting and everyone doesn't want to do it, then you failed. But people have signed up for the game, so they're obviously interested. Anyway, that's my views on railroading. Railroading is good. It's how the game works. You're telling a story. That's it. Simple as that. And if people don't want to follow your story, talk to them about it, make them change, and if they're not interested, tell them to go away, or you change your story enough for them to be able to play. I mean, obviously, if it's a little change that doesn't actually impact the story, chuck in an illusion of choice. You can say, oh, you can go to town A, town B, but town A and town B are the same town. Whatever. Illusion of choice is an effective way. I've used it before. Every DM has used it before. They shout out 3 places to make it look like they've done prep, and then they go to one place and it's the same as all the others. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on railroading. It's good. You need to do it. It's how the game works. Simple as that.